Salut à tous, on se retrouve pour continuer la découverte de Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishment. On va continuer la première enquête. Des temps de chargement très rapides. Oh, j'ai gardé ma tenue de marin.
Brave Toby, the best nose in the British Empire.
Ah mince. Alors attendez. Voilà, c'est bon. Parce que je sais qu'il y a un trophée manquable. Il faut interagir avec Toby à toutes les enquêtes. Donc là, c'est fait.
A map of London and the surrounding area. It could be useful.
On va aller au pub. Ouais, mais c'est temps de chargement hyper rapide. Non, ça va. Parce qu'il y avait un pub dans l'autre Sherlock Holmes, je me demandais s'ils avaient pris exactement le même design. Quoique. Il y en avait deux des pubs en fait. Un où on retrouvait un où on devait espionner les gens et je me demande si c'est pas exactement le même.
Hello there. Are you Cairns?
What do you want?
We've heard all about the gambling on arm wrestling here. You seem like the likely sort, and I'm up for it.
I start at 10 shillings.
Suits me.
Ok, il faut faire quoi? Observe le visage de Patrick Cairns pour comprendre ses actions. Pousser, bloquer, récupérer et agir en fonction. Surveillez votre endurance. Je comprends pas. Ok. J'ai du mal. Hein. Ok, je commence à comprendre. Là, il va s'énerver. Non, je peux pas. Mais c'est complexe, hein. Non, ça sert à rien, ça. Là, on résiste. Là, il est faible. Non. Oh, j'étais bien, c'est dommage. Ok, je comprends un peu, mais c'est un peu compliqué. Hein. Il faut vraiment que j'ai mon endurance à fond et que je fasse pas d'erreur, quoi. Non mais c'est compliqué. C'est pas ça d'endurance pour. Oh oh. Non mais... Attends. Wow. On va reprendre ses esprits. Parce que là, j'ai du mal. On va essayer de reset un peu tout ça dans mon cerveau. Allez, on y go. Parce que là, j'ai trop mal commencé, c'est ça le problème. Et du coup, je m'en sors plus. Il faut vraiment que j'essaye de reset tout ça. Voilà, là on est au milieu. Et on reprend toute son endurance. Et on est bon. Là, on est retourné au début. Il résiste, ça sert à rien. Punaise, c'est le bras de fer, mais comme dans A Way Out, quoi. Le bras de fer qui dure 20 ans. Ça va s'arrêter parce qu'il y en aura un, il en aura marre, il va abandonner. Lâche-moi! Non. Lâche-moi, je t'ai dit. Non, j'ai l'impression qu'il faiblit des fois, mais il faiblit pas. Mais... Oh, c'est chiant, mais tu peux pas enchaîner. Ok, c'est bon. Je fais que regarder son visage. Là. Je regarde même pas mon endurance. Punaise, mais il résiste trop vite, lui. Dès que je commence à appuyer, il résiste. Oh, il est énervé. Ah, j'ai plus d'endurance, mince, j'avais pas vu. Du coup. Wow, énervé. Faut que je résiste là. Ok, il est énervé. Oh! Il m'a mis une feinte. On y va! Go go Power Ranger! Enfin! Oh mince! Reprends ton endurance, on fait une petite pause. J'ai dit on fait une petite pause. Lâche-moi. Mais arrête de forcer là, laisse-moi un peu tranquille. Mais j'ai l'impression que c'est bon là. Oh! Boum! Ne t'énerve pas!
You were lucky. I wasn't focused. Let's go again.
Oh non! Oh là là! Boucle d'oreille en or, boucle d'oreille en or, c'est pas mal. Hein. Avancer, c'est R1, pas R2. Bras puissant. Bah tu m'étonnes. S'il fait du bras de fer, ongle jaune. Ongle jauni, devrais-je dire. Oh, le tatouage de marin. Le marin d'eau douce. Et qu'est-ce qu'il y a là? Forcément quelque chose ici. Non? Ouais, le truc que j'ai raté. Oh! Habit bon marché. Vas-y, continuons, mon pote. Hein.
I'm ready to try again.
Fine. If you want me to take all your money, no problem with that.
Vas-y. Ouais, maintenant que j'ai compris, c'est bien plus facile. Il m'a encore placé une feinte. Sous cet angle? Non. Sous-moi pas. Sous cet angle-là, j'ai du mal avec ses yeux un peu. Punaise, il m'a placé une feinte encore. Et il est fini.
Well, good for you, I reckon. You're stronger than you look. Here's your 10 shillings.
I'd like to buy you a drink.
Good winner as well. That's good. Let's have a drink. You're a good type. Seems you've managed to settle down in life. You've got money, eh?
Not all that much.
Oh, well. At least you're not as poor as me.
Why do you say poor? You're not working?
I'm a harpooner. But you see, the whalers are rare. They don't pay much. So, as a result, find myself arm wrestling to pay for my drink.
A harpooner. Interesting. You've had a lot of adventures, I bet.
Ah, of course. It's been a dozen years since I sailed. I've seen everything. Old Wallace, damn Black Peter, Great Roger. We sailed to the Cape of Good Hope.
Black Peter, you say? I've heard rumors about that one.
He was the worst of them all. He was a liar, and violent too. Swinging those fists of his around. He was a tyrant, and not much of a captain. At least, not as good as Great Roger.
I see. Yes. I was told terrible tales about Black Peter.
But you ain't heard the worst.
Tell me, and let's have another drink.
It was in 1883 that it happened. The August of that year. Peter Carey was captain of the Sea Unicorn, and I was a spare harpooner. We were coming out of the ice pack on our way home. One evening, we saw a little craft that had been blown north. There was only one man on her, and he wasn't a sailor. The crew must have thought that she'd foundered, and they made for the Norwegian coast in the dinghy. I guess they all drowned. We took the man on board.
And who was he?
I dunno. During the crossing, he and the skipper enjoyed some long talks. His baggage was just a tin box.
That's strange enough.
Aye. Even stranger was that on the second night, he disappeared. Nobody knew what happened to him. And of course, nobody could ask Black Peter about it.
You know what happened, don't you?
I do. I saw the skipper tie his heels and push him over the rail in the middle of my watch on that dark night. 2 days before we sighted the Shetland lights.
Black Peter's a murderer.
Aye. Those that know him wouldn't be surprised to hear it. But all this must stay between us. All right?
Of course.
Cacher la blague. C'est quoi déjà la blague? Bah, c'est un objet.
Back in a second. I'm off to the Kazi.
I'll be here with my drink.
Tiens. Bah tiens, John Nelligan. Nelligan a environ 19 ans. Il a grandi dans une famille aisée qui a hélas tout perdu après la désertion de son père, il y a 10 ans. Depuis, il gagne sa vie en vidant des poissons. Mais reste très malingre malgré toutes ces années de labeur physique. Liam Hurtley. Un individu arrêté par la police qu'il avait vu rôder la nuit précédente près de Woodmansley. Cet ex-soldat qui a quitté l'armée avec les honneurs après avoir reçu un éclat d'obus dans le cou mène aujourd'hui une vie paisible en tant que jardinier. Patrick Cairns. Ce harponneur, pourtant chevronné, se retrouve dans la misère par manque de travail. Il passe le plus clair de son temps au Sea Witch, un pub fréquenté par les marins dans lequel il gagne un peu d'argent au bras de fer. Comme beaucoup de ses confrères, c'est un gros fumeur, ce dont attestent les doigts jaunis. Ok. Glisser la bague à tabac dans la poche de cas. Ok.
Here it is. Have you got any tobacco? I've run out of mine.
Nah, I lost my pouch. I don't know where. Wait a minute. What's this?
Oh, is this your tobacco pouch?
Well, oh, it is.
Well, I have to go now. I know a captain who's planning an expedition to Cape Cod. Captain Ahab's his name. He commanded the Pequod. He might need good harpooners. I'll tell him about you.
Maybe. If you like, aye.
I'm done here. It's time to leave.
Intéressant. J'ai bien aimé cette phase. Et le bras de fer, quand tu le comprends, c'est cool. Voilà. Et donc ça, bien sûr. Cairns a confirmé que la blague à tabac lui appartenait. C'est donc qu'il était sur les lieux du meurtre et que c'est lui le coupable. Cairns a confirmé que la blague à tabac lui appartenait. C'est donc qu'il était sur les lieux du meurtre, mais ce n'est pas forcément lui le meurtrier. Certes, on est d'accord. Nous sommes d'accord. Ce n'est pas forcément lui le meurtrier. Ça me paraît un peu gros que ce soit lui, honnêtement. Faut que j'aille où, là? John Nelligan. On va voir si on peut l'interroger. Continuer. Oh, il s'est changé automatiquement, tiens. Est-ce que j'ai moyen de...
What am I doing here? I've done nothing wrong.
Non. Il me manque des choses à propos de... Ah non, ça c'est la salle d'autopsie. Attends. Est-ce qu'il n'y a pas moyen d'y aller? Je me demande. Non, il n'y a personne. Il y a peut-être les affaires de la victime. Quoique, on a déjà fouillé le meurtre. Le lieu du meurtre, donc. Je pense pas qu'il y ait grand-chose. Titre de créance, nanana. Ah, à utiliser, tiens. À utiliser où, je ne sais pas, mais il faut l'utiliser quelque part. Peut-être dans ses affaires, alors. Est-ce qu'il y a quelque chose?
These are the suspect's belongings.
Ici, il manque quelque
I
chose,
wonder
tiens.
if these are...
Oh,
No, that's not it.
attends, je ne comprends pas. Ah,
Now
c'est
we
ça.
have the proof that Nelligan's papers were indeed here. It seems that they have vanished, however.
Document manquant, disparition. La boîte en état envolée contenait des titres de créances précieux. Il est possible que Don Nelligan ait été pris en train de voler les obligations, ce qui l'aurait poussé à tuer. C'est pas faux. Nous avons eu confirmation que Liam... Ouais, toutefois, le Riddle s'est tenu à de simples lettres et de paroles d'infection. Si je fais ça... Ça me fait quoi? Hum, hum, hum. John Nelligan. Est-ce qu'on peut aller l'interroger maintenant?
I'm not
Non.
saying.
Please escort
Ouais,
this
voilà.
suspect for interrogation. Tell me, Mr. Nelligan, what exactly were you hoping to find inside Peter Carey's cabin?
I was trying to find some information about my father.
I assume you had another purpose, to retrieve the bond certificates. Am I correct?
Yes. I discovered some time ago that a few of the missing securities had reappeared on the London market. You can imagine my amazement. I spent months trying to find them, and at last I discovered that the original seller had been Captain Peter Carey. These papers, they belong to my family, but I could not find them there.
That's all for now. Well, I will see you soon, young man.
Document manquant, tentative d'effraction. Tentative visait à récupérer le calepin. L'auteur de cette tentative pourrait bien être le meurtrier. Nelligan cherchait les documents de son père dans la cabane de Peter le Noir. D'où sa présence sur les lieux du crime. Ah ouais, mais si on m'écoute, personne est le meurtrier. Je sais pas, je sens bien Hurtley, moi. Non? Ah bah j'ai mis Flirt anodin. Comme il se passe quoi ici? Du coup, est-ce que je mets coup de chance? Oh! Hurtley est coupable. Liam Hurtley a assassiné Peter Carey. Son mobile, la jalousie. Parce qu'il était amoureux de Miss Carey. Liam Hurtley a été reconnu coupable du meurtre de Peter Carey. La loi doit le punir fermement pour cet acte odieux. Absoudre avec l'esprit... Nanana. Bah oui, il doit répondre de ses actes devant la justice. Je suis d'accord. Je réfléchis. Après, de toute façon, il faut que je fasse tous les choix en vrai. Parce que j'ai regardé pour le platine, il faut faire tous les choix. Donc écoute, on va condamner au départ, voilà.
The case is solved. I am now ready to present the guilty party.
So tell me, who killed Black Peter?
It was Liam Hurtley.
That doesn't surprise me. I've never seen a guiltier-looking fellow.
He was in love with Judith Carey. It caused a conflict that proved fatal for her husband.
I see. Come on now, let us confront him.
Liam Hurtley, you are formally accused of the murder of Peter Carey. We are aware that you were in love with Carey's wife. He was a violent and irascible man. He needed to be eliminated. You had no qualms.
But that's absurd. I'm innocent. Well, we caught you, lad.
The case is resolved, Inspector. I shall return to Baker Street.
Very well, Mr. Holmes. Goodbye for now.
Donc vérifions. Ah, il n'est pas coupable, ok. Ok, donc changer d'avis. Voilà. Donc là, on va refaire. Voilà. Non, cette fois, on va l'absoudre.
The case is solved. I am now ready to present the guilty party.
So tell me, who killed Black Peter?
It was Liam Hurtley.
That doesn't surprise me. I've never seen a guiltier-looking fellow.
He was in love with Judith Carey. It caused a conflict that proved fatal for her husband.
I see. Come on now, let us confront him.
Liam Hurtley, it was you who killed Black Peter. He learned of your relationship with his wife, and he asked that you meet him to share in a drink. Then began the quarrel. He drew his knife, and in self-defense, you took up the harpoon. Lestrade, please put that in your report.
I deny everything. You have no proof. Calm down and thank your stars that Mr. Holmes just saved your neck.
The case is resolved, Inspector. I shall return to Baker Street.
Very well, Mr. Holmes. Goodbye for now.
Donc on va changer d'avis. Alors honnêtement, je pense que c'est Nelligan. Hein. Parce que pour moi, Cairns... Il est innocent. Non. Voilà. Ouais. Est un meurtrier de sang-froid, il était reconnu coupable de l'assassinat et doit être condamné. Et ce meurtre, il s'agirait d'une légitime défense. Vas-y. On le condamne au début. Parce que pour le platine, il faut que je fasse tout. Donc, de toute façon, je fais tout.
If you wouldn't mind, Mr. Holmes, could you explain it to me?
As I informed you on our way here, Patrick Cairns is the murderer of Black Peter.
Why bring me here? Wouldn't it be better if we were out looking for him?
That would be futile, as he will be with us in approximately 12 seconds.
Oh, well, if this is your idea of humour...
No, I just heard the front door. Prepare yourself.
Good day, gentlemen. A young lad gave me a note from Captain Ahab. Am I at the right address? Is he here?
Indeed, it is the correct address. But in place of your captain, may I present to you Inspector Lestrade of Scotland Yard?
That means...
It means, my friend, that you are arrested for the murder of Black Peter.
What? What? A trap? You think you can take me?
Here now. We'll have none of that.
And I say that we will.
Oh. Boum. Mais pourquoi? On n'avait pas besoin de faire ça, mon pote. Quoique si, je l'accusais, donc je le condamnais, donc bon. Pugiliste, trophée obtenu. Mon premier trophée.
Oh, my jaw.
Patrick Keynes.
Gore. He took me by surprise, Mr. Holmes. Otherwise, he would have seen what I'm capable of. Oh.
Yes, he was lucky.
Ah. But you got him.
It was remarkably easy. He lost his balance after he struck you.
And you practice boxing, I know. You must have hit him hard. Our fellow is knocked out.
We should call for a police cab and then take you to the hospital.
Yes, well, no need for a hospital. I would prefer to keep this between us. You know.
Of course, Inspector. The case is closed.
Alors, il est bien coupable. Donc on change d'avis. Du coup ça, présence. Ça. Du coup, coup de chance. Et voilà, ça le met lui. Donc vas-y. Confirme notre choix moral.
The case is solved. I am now ready to present the guilty party.
So tell me, who killed Black Peter?
John
It
Nelligan.
was John Nelligan, Inspector.
I thought as much, but I failed to see his motive.
Revenge, Inspector. Black Peter possessed the bond certificates that had belonged to Nelligan's father, and young Nelligan wished to retrieve them.
Well then, I'll arrest this Nelligan. I don't fancy his chances of getting out of prison after this.
I will accompany you, Inspector. You are guilty of the murder of Black Peter. Confess now, and your punishment may be more merciful.
No! I didn't kill him!
Your motive? The valuable securities that Peter Carey stole from your father. Carey refused to return the bond certificates, and then he threatened you. You were afraid, and in your panic, you took the harpoon and made your lucky throw.
But that's not true!
You're a liar, Mr. Nelligan. It's all over now.
The case is resolved, Inspector. I shall return to Baker Street.
Very well, Mr. Holmes. Goodbye for now.
Donc on change d'avis. Cette fois on va l'absoudre, puis ensuite on fera la bonne solution. Enfin la bonne solution. Que ce soit condamné ou absoudre Hurtley, c'est la bonne solution.
The case is solved. I am now ready to present the guilty party.
So tell me, who killed Black Peter?
John
It
Nelligan.
was John Nelligan, Inspector.
I thought as much, but I failed to see his motive.
Revenge, Inspector. Black Peter possessed the bond certificates that had belonged to Nelligan's father, and young Nelligan wished to retrieve them.
Well then, I'll arrest this Nelligan. I don't fancy his chances of getting out of prison after this.
I will accompany you, Inspector. John Nelligan, it was you who killed Black Peter. You attempted to convince him to return the bond certificates, and you threatened to call the police. Peter Carey was drunk. He drew his knife. In panic, you took the harpoon and made your lucky throw in self-defense. Put that in your report, Lestrade.
No, I didn't kill anyone. You have it all wrong.
You better thank Mr. Holmes for saving your neck, Nelligan.
The case is resolved, Inspector. I shall return to Baker Street.
Very well, Mr. Holmes. Goodbye for now.
Donc là c'est faux. Là on va faire le bon. C'est un peu chiant de devoir faire tous les trucs, mais bon, il y a un trophée qui demande ça. Il y a des trophées manquables. Un c'est caresser le chien dans toutes les affaires. Un autre c'est faire toujours les bons choix. Un autre c'est voir tous les choix. Et le dernier, c'est de toujours rester sur la même lignée. Donc soit tu absous tout le temps, soit tu condamnes tout le temps. Jalousie désespérée, voilà. Non. Ben non, je suis bête. Non, c'est pas lui. C'est lui. Moi, après ce qu'il a dit, Cairns, je serais plutôt pour la self-defense, quoi. Enfin, je serais plutôt... Je sais pas si c'est de la self-defense, mais je serais plutôt pour l'absoudre. Parce qu'il a quand même vécu une vie compliquée, hein, avec cet homme. Donc vas-y, j'absous.
Good afternoon. I must be at the wrong address. I'd like to speak with a ship's captain, a Captain Ahab. Is that you?
No, my name is Sherlock Holmes.
That detective fella? So, you wanted to see me?
That is correct. We need to talk.
About what?
About Black Peter, who was killed in his own hut with a harpoon.
You know, don't you?
Yes.
How?
The tobacco pouch. You recognized it.
Oh, the sailor. It was you. Unbelievable. Well, fine. I confess. But if you really do know everything, you should also know that I didn't want to kill him. He made me do it.
I know. Did you know about this story with the bond certificates? Did you need money?
Yeah. I just wanted him to cough up a little silver. I'm out of work, and I thought maybe he could help me. Well, he refused outright, and he insulted me. I reminded him I knew all about that murder he committed at sea in 1883. Then he got mad when I spoke about his treasure. I barely just had time to throw the harpoon at him before he could jump at me with his knife. You know the truth. What will you do now?
I ask that you return the bond certificates. Keep some of them. You will need them in your exile. It is better that you leave the country for a few years.
And you won't say anything to the police?
I will not say anything as long as you return the money.
Well, I'll do as you ask. But what about Inspector Lestrade?
I will deal with him. Goodbye.
Goodbye, my friendo.
It's good that you asked me to come, Mr. Holmes. We do need to talk.
About what?
What do you mean? Our case, Mr. Holmes. You sent me a message via your little thug.
His name is Wiggins, Inspector.
Telling me that the case is solved. Well, Mr. Holmes, tell me, who is our murderer and where is he?
The morgue.
Eh?
His name is, or rather was, Pablo Coventrao. He was also on the ship with Peter Carey, and he was a harpooner. I'll tell you everything, Inspector, but do calm down. Mrs. Hudson will bring us tea and orange cake.
Orange cake? You're spoiling me, Mr. Holmes. That's my favourite.
Il sait comment s'en occuper.
Ah, Mr. Holmes. Inspector Lestrade told me that I should thank you for clearing my name. He also said that you were waiting for me here. I came as fast as I could. I cannot thank you enough. It is all because of you that this nightmare is finally over.
I believe that this belongs to you.
My father's securities. Incredible! But how did you get them?
It would take far too long to explain.
Tell me. This is extraordinary. You are a genius.
Then that may serve as an explanation. Goodbye, Mr. Nelligan, and good luck.
Goodbye, Mr. Holmes. And thank you. 1,000 times thank you.
Voilà, ça c'était bien. C'est une bonne fin, je trouve. Allez, on classe l'affaire. Bilan, votre éthique compréhensif. À vos ordres, capitaine. Trophée obtenu. Terminé, Peter Lenoir.
This trip to the countryside will be good for you, Holmes. As your friend and your doctor, I really do recommend that you give yourself a complete change of scene. Fresh air, brisk walks, bird watching, chopping wood.
Sounds intolerable. I mean, certainly it sounds delightful.
But you haven't yet told me who your friend is, the one we're going to visit.
He is a bee lover.
A bee lover? Do you mean that he keeps bees? That must be Mrs. Hudson, bringing the warm cloth that I requested.
There is someone to see you, Mr. Holmes.
What?
I have no time.
Lestrade.
Send whoever it is
Lestrade.
away.
Yes, Holmes, I really think we ought to leave now.
Who is it? Ou c'est mon ami?
Mycroft.
Sherlock.
Oh, Mr. Holmes? Perhaps you don't remember me. I'm Dr. Watson. We met at the Diogenes Club a few years ago. I documented our encounter in a short story I gave the title The Greek Interpreter.
He does remember you, Watson. My brother remembers everything, and that is why he is so valuable to the government.
We are about to depart for the train station.
I know.
You know?
Sherlock, I need your help. There are people who presently threaten both our country and the Crown itself. You must help us with those methods of yours.
Need? Help? Those are not words I would readily associate with you, Mycroft.
I
Mycroft.
wrote you a letter, but you did not reply. And this is not about politics. It's about people. People similar to those whom you pretend to defend in your petty detective affairs.
Everything is about politics with you, Mycroft. I'm not interested. Have some of your agents, your spies, or worse, undertake this job of yours. You are defending your people, and they have little to do with the people I choose to help, I can assure you.
That's the point. You think exactly as they do.
Who are they?
The Merry Men. He is talking about the Merry Men, a band of idealistic terrorists.
Sherlock, do please think about it. They are planning something diabolical. Your country needs you.
You need me, Mycroft, and you are not the country. Although if your waistline expands very much further.
Mrs. Hudson, tea will not be necessary. Dr. Watson, the train conductor, Mr. Parker, is aware that you will be 7 minutes late. You are in the 4th car. The train will be waiting for you. Sherlock, enjoy your time in Staffordshire. And do, please, at least write to me on your return.
Alors niveau histoire, ça commence à être intéressant. Hein. Avant de partir, on va quand même aller voir le chien. Hein. Oh, salut mon chien.
Look after Mrs. Hudson for us, Toby. Look after Mrs. Hudson for us, Toby.
Qu'est-ce qu'il y a maintenant là-dedans? Toujours la même femme. Hein. Toby, par contre, il est pas vert, je sais pas pourquoi.
Holmes, please call a cab while I pack my suitcase. We shall be late for the train.
Est-ce que j'ai pas moyen de prendre ma tenue décontractée? Là. Oh non, chelou.
Watson, I'll hold a cab for us. We leave in 5 minutes for the station.
Ok, mon pote. Une semaine plus tard. 1 week later. 1 week later.
What a gloomy night. It was warmer inside the waiting hall.
Since the station master told us that the train is about to arrive, we should not have to wait very much longer.
Yes, at last.
Attention! The train is arriving at the station. Please stand well away from the platform edge.
I'll take your bags and your blasted archive suitcase. But, Holmes, the headlight. It's faded away.
Something is wrong. I can't hear any sound from the incoming train.
Excuse me, sir. Can you explain what has happened?
I don't know. It's as if the train vanished into thin air.
Holmes, say something.
Quick, fetch a lantern and let us take a look.
It's too dark. Only fog and rails, nothing else.
There is no use in stumbling around here at night. We will come back tomorrow.
Mince, j'ai pas eu le temps d'appuyer sur triangle. Je suis dégoûté. Moi, je pense, il y a moyen que le train soit un attentat du groupuscule terroriste dont il parlait avec son frère. Moi, je pense qu'il y a moyen que ce soit ça.
Well, here we are again at Evesham Station. We have a full day ahead. Let us begin our investigation.
Vas-y, inspectez la scène.
First of all, let us examine the area where the train disappeared.
Bah ouais, mais la zone, t'as vu comme elle est grande? Tu veux que je regarde quoi exactement? Il y a des traces là. Tu vas pas arrêter de me suivre, toi, hein? Quoi? Ok, très bien. Alors là, je t'avoue que je sais pas trop quoi regarder, hein. Bon là je pense qu'il n'y a rien. Je vais quand même continuer jusqu'au fond mais... Oh! Très bien.
This is the place where we saw the train vanish last night.
Railway sleepers. Nothing unusual. There are no tracks or footprints on the ground. A discarded item, possibly thrown from the train. The rails have not been touched. There's nothing unusual here. There are no signs to indicate that the train ran off the track, nor are there any other traces. There is nothing whatsoever. There are no clues. But then, a negative result is also a result.
Oh, I see what you're getting at. No clues and you're smiling.
Yes, Watson, I do smile on occasion. This mystery appears very promising. This investigation won't be simple. We shall require a map of the region.
Perhaps the station master could lend us one.
Du coup on va rentrer là. Par contre c'est chiant qu'on soit aussi lent. Hein. Je l'ai déjà dit sur le 2, je l'ai déjà même dit hier sur celui-ci. Parce que là c'est que du tout droit. Faut aller tout au fond. C'est chiant qu'on puisse pas avancer. Plus vite. Oh monsieur.
Good morning. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is my friend and colleague, Dr. Watson.
Yes, I remember you. I'm Station Master Everett. You were here last night. So, you are Mr. Holmes, the great detective. Will you be investigating what happened?
I shall indeed.
It is extraordinary that an entire train could disappear like that. And to think of all the poor people inside it, the passengers, the driver.
Alors désolé si des fois il y a des petites pauses, hein. Mais vu qu'il y a beaucoup de parlotte en début d'affaire, j'en profite pour faire autre chose. Cheveux gris. Ok. Très bien. Un signe honorifique. Tache de terre. Une alliance. Non. Je vais mettre carré pour ouvrir le carnet, mais on peut pas. Information sur le terrain.
Could you please give us any details about the train?
Le
Well,
train,
there's nothing
pas
so
le terrain.
very
Le
special
train.
about it. At least not that I can recall. My memory's not what it used to be. However, if you need it, you can have the train composition report. It's inside my office.
I would be glad to have a detailed map of the local railway district.
But of course, please, take the one that's pinned inside the waiting hall.
See you later, my good man.
Dans ce genre d'affaires, c'est fou quand même. Hein. T'as toujours de gros soupçons sur le premier, alors qu'il est super gentil, mais t'as quand même des soupçons, quoi. La carte. Mais c'est pas le... Ah non, c'est les horaires du train. Je pensais que c'était le... comment ça s'appelle?
Railway post bags.
La composition du train. Y a rien ici? Y a rien d'autre? Tiens la carte. The
This
Ferroviary
map
Cart.
will be useful.
Ok. Oh, c'est la carte pour se TP maintenant. Chronique. Votre éthique compréhensif. Peter Lenoir. Peter Lenoir a été assassiné par Patrick Cairns, harponneur professionnel. Seul à même de porter un coup aussi précis et dont la blague à tabac était retrouvée dans la cabane de Carrie. Toutefois, il a agi en état de légitime défense face à un marin ivre. Armé et furieux, j'ai décidé de l'absoudre. Trophée. Souvenir. Un harpon ayant civil. On garde le harpon. On garde l'arme du crime, on est vraiment bizarre. Oh! Je sais pas si je les ai ratés dans la première affaire, mais... Chef d'Eversham Station. Devsham Station. Ce soixantenaire est marié de longue date. Les traces de terre fraîche sur ses manches trahissent sa passion pour le jardinage. Il porte l'insigne d'honneur des chefs de gare, preuve de son ancienneté à ce poste. Bref, c'est un homme manifestement épris de calme et de stabilité.
Holmes, how is it even possible for a train to disappear?
On va bien voir. Hein. Acquérir de plus amples informations sur le train qui circulait. Est-ce qu'il y en a ici des informations? Je crois pas. Hein. Je crois que j'ai fait le tour ici. De ce côté, on en a des infos? Oh, pas bête, Sty, hein. Qui, quand elle voit qu'elle me bloque, elle recule pour me laisser passer. Ouais, enfin là, tu me bloques beaucoup trop. Monsieur le cocher, ça vous dirait pas de venir parce que vous allez attendre longtemps, là. C'est ici qu'on va pouvoir récupérer les trucs du train.
A new telegram.
Ouais.
I think we
Message
should
to
meet
all
this
stations.
Mr. Robinson.
J'ai pas eu le temps de le lire. Message à toutes les gares. Mr. Robinson se trouve à Bridlington Station. Composition du train.
Here's
Tiens.
the train set.
Ligne Nottingham, Londres. Type train LNER numéro 324. Composition locomotive, tender, voiture première classe, fourgon postal, wagon spécial, affrété par Monsieur Thomas Robinson, voiture deuxième classe. Donc le bureau c'est tout.
A telegraph.
Ok. Du coup c'est tout. Est-ce qu'on en a... Ah, disparition du train avec passager, aucune trace du train. Ah, bah très bien. Pourtant moi ça m'aurait paru logique. Même si ça revient au même, hein, faut avouer, mais ça m'aurait paru logique. Allons lui parler. Voir s'il y a quelque chose. Avec le monsieur Robinson. Wagon spécial.
According to the train
Le wagon.
composition report, there was a special wagon. What does that entail?
That's a highly secure car, ordered by a private party. It is generally to carry something of value. Those wagons have iron walls, you know, without any windows. And they're fitted with a complex key lock.
That is important information. Do you know what was inside this particular wagon?
Certainly not. No, that's private. And it's not my responsibility to allot the wagons to whoever.
Was there anything exceptional about any of the passengers aboard the train?
What do you mean? Like officials? I wouldn't know. Oh, but now that you mention it, yes, there was something. There was a message from Bridlington Station saying that the train had been delayed because of an issue with the passengers. But what kind of problem that they didn't say?
That is interesting.
Trompé de touche, désolé.
You mentioned a problem at Bridlington Station. I should like to visit this station. Could you mark it on the local map?
Of course. It's a suburban railway station. You might take a cab there.
See you later, my good man.
Eh ben, on va y aller dès maintenant, mon pote. J'aime trop faire le bruit du cheval, c'est fou. Hein, le wagon spécial. Non. Je m'en doutais. Je m'en doutais. Watson. My
Holmes,
friend.
how is it even possible for a train to disappear?
Oh! Je peux fouiller, les gars? On s'est pas présenté, mais je m'en fous.
Railway post bags.
Pas quelque chose ici? Non, juste une porte. Oh, monsieur!
This is an absolute scandal. It's always the same with these rail companies. No respect for the customer.
Qui êtes-vous, monsieur? Il ressemble beaucoup au jardinier de la première enquête. Tiens. Habit de travail. Qu'y a-t-il ici? Billet de 2e classe. Marié. Ma rugueuse. Monsieur, que s'est-il passé?
Please calm down, sir. What is your concern?
Concern? What is my concern? I'll tell you what my concern is. Last night I were on the train as usual with my colleague, heading home. Then along came this ridiculous ticket inspector, who started arguing that our tickets were invalid. He made us get off the train, and he was extremely rude about it.
Were you aboard the train that vanished last night?
Yes, I heard that it disappeared. But I don't care because we would have stopped before then anyway. Our tickets were valid and no doubt about it. And then, to top it all, the ticket inspector pushed everyone else out too, except for a bunch of rich. Well, of course their type don't need a ticket.
Ouais, ça sent surtout qu'il t'a sauvé la vie, parce qu'il voulait tuer juste les riches. Et vu que t'étais pas une personne d'intérêt, il t'a laissé en vie.
Can you recall anything more specific about this fortunate group?
Well, yes. They were all foreigners. Spanish-looking toffs with snake eyes.
Goodbye, sir.
Donc là, ce qu'on a appris était très intéressant.
The whole train just disappeared. It's
Oh, monsieur le cowboy. Oh, monsieur Robinson, tiens. Mr.
Good day to you,
Robinson.
sir.
Good day. To whom am I speaking?
Sherlock
My
Holmes.
name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is...
Are you a
Dr.
representative of this damned railway company? Because I have a complaint.
We are not from the railway company. We are...
Well, in that case, Mr. Shamrock Flomes, please excuse me. But I'm not in the mood for idle chit-chat at the moment.
Mais il est sérieux, lui? Il veut que je m'énerve ou quoi? Il veut que je le tape? Chapeau australien. C'est monsieur Robinson. Il monte son chapeau alors que je l'avais déjà trouvé au final. Vêtements coûteux. Alors le riche. Grosse chevalière en or. Ah oui. Plus que grosse, mon pote. Et vénère. Les bottes. Les bottes en peau de croco. Oh bah, peau de croco, tiens. Mais c'est pas des bottes.
You must be Mr. Robinson, is that correct?
Yes?
I am leading the investigation of the disappearing train. It would help if you could answer my questions.
Ah, well, all right. I have nothing to hide.
I presume it was you who placed the order for the special wagon.
Yes. It was to transport my valuable prototype safely to London. My prototype is a revolutionary device. It is capable of producing electricity. I'm a businessman and an engineer. I had already found several potential customers for my invention. But I was very optimistic about the directors' board who were travelling on the train last night.
You mentioned a director's board. Which company do they own?
The Chilean Barcazas Company. I had made an appointment with them. Now they are lost, along with the train and my prototype.
What do you know about the Barcazas Company?
It's a large South American company. They showed a great deal of interest in my prototype, and they seemed wealthy enough to do business with.
This revolutionary machine of yours, was it very valuable?
For God's sake, sir, it is priceless. It could change the world we live in, and yet I was selling it for almost nothing. I am a humanitarian, you see. I do not know if I will ever be able to get over this disaster. I cannot believe that it disappeared with that damn train.
Mr. Robinson, could you please clarify? Were you travelling alongside your prototype?
Yes, I was. But I had to step off the train. And all because of this stupid station master.
I received a telegram declaring that an important person, a Mr. Bromsby, wished to see you in the waiting room. I merely informed you of this.
Mr. Bromsby is a wealthy gentleman. His interest in my invention was truly unexpected. So yes, of course, I agreed to see him. Unfortunately, he wasn't there. I thought perhaps he might have been delayed, so I chose to wait a while. But despite my requests, the train left the station without me. Absolutely unacceptable.
The timetable is strict. We cannot wait any longer. The regulations require the train to be on time.
You are an idiot. You will pay for it. I will sue you.
The ticket inspector forced all the passengers from the train except for the directors of the Barcazas Chilean Company.
Interessante. Chiliens restés dans le train. Disparition du train avec passagers. Si les Chiliens sont restés dans le train, c'était une simple coïncidence, le contrôleur ne les avait pas vus. Le directeur de la société chilienne Barcazas était sciemment laissé dans le train. Le contrôleur a fait descendre de force tous les passagers hormis les Chiliens. Je pense que oui. Ça me paraîtrait tout à fait logique. Et du coup, là, les deux, ils vont pas ensemble. Là, il est passé où, le mec? Le troisième, là. Le troisième 2-3. Monsieur, j'ai quelques questions à vous poser.
Gentlemen. How may I help you?
Good day to you, sir. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I am investigating the unfortunate disappearance of last night's train.
I see. I'm Station Master Bertram, but my supervisor has not informed me about this. I do not know if...
Do not worry. I have only a few questions.
Un petit carré. On vous observe, monsieur. Jeune. Non, en vrai. Vêtements propres. Instruction et des mains sales. Tache d'encre. Tiens. Tiens, mon pote.
Station Master Everett from Evesham told us that you reported a problem with some passengers last night.
Indeed. This train is a regular line for those who work at Nottingham. But yesterday, everyone was asked to get off the train here at my station. I've no idea why, and it delayed the train. But the worst of it is that now I have to deal with two furious passengers who are complaining about the company's service. They stayed here the whole night, but people do not usually pay much attention to the regulations, you see. There are very strict and clear rules. Paragraph 234 of Article 2G-43 states that in the event of a complaint, you must...
Yes, thank you. I understand. Apart from the passengers disembarking, did you notice anything else that was unusual last night?
I did, and I mentioned it in my report to our higher management on the matter.
What was it?
Sorry, but I can't tell you. The station master's reports are confidential.
Confidential, you say? How long have you been working here?
I've worked here long enough to be quite capable of managing a railway station.
J'ai eu très très chaud. Chef de gare débutant.
Let me speak frankly, Mr. Bertram. Your age and your lack of confidence in your position are quite apparent. You cannot deny that you have only recently completed your studies.
I was at the top of my class.
Listen here, young man. I am aware that you wish to protect yourself behind all these regulations, but I represent the law.
And you are obstructing the investigation of an important case. I would suggest that you cooperate with Mr. Holmes. Think of your career.
Ah, that is... Well, I'll tell you everything.
Boom!
First of all, I scolded the ticket inspector, for it was he who asked the passengers to leave the train. It was not his right to do so. He was very rude. And then, later on, I received a most peculiar telegram from my colleague at Chesterfield Station, the next stop along the line.
What did the telegram say?
Well, that was the peculiar thing. It was almost unreadable. It was full of errors and awfully vague. It was hard to understand if the train had correctly passed that station or not. You can read it for yourself.
We ought to visit Chesterfield Station. We need to confirm if the station master saw the train or not.
Télégramme de Chesterfield. Grès de Chesterfield Station. Ah ouais, non mais... Alors je veux bien que... Alors soit c'est du... C'est de l'espagnol très mauvais, soit c'est bizarre, parce que je veux bien des fautes, mais là c'est plus des fautes, ça c'est... Oh, feuille de papier.
The insurance policy for Robinson's machine. A significant sum.
Police d'assurance de prototype. Police d'assurance numéro 25 6458. Assurance souscrite par Thomas L. Robinson pour son prototype dit de génération électrique autonome. La présente police couvre la perte totale ou réputée totale du prototype jusqu'à un maximum de 50% de la valeur de l'article. Montant maximum de la couverture 15 000 livres sterling. Durée de l'assurance 1 an reconvertible. À demander et rapport de Chesterfield.
Don't touch anything, please.
Il est sérieux lui? Moi, je touche ce que je veux. Sherlock Holmes, moi. Si j'ai envie de bouffer dans ton assiette, je bouffe dans ton assiette, mon pote. Monsieur, l'assurance alors.
According to this document, you have insurance for your prototype.
Oh, thank God. Where did you find it?
Near the telegraph station.
I must have lost it when I tried to send a message, which I was prevented from
I
doing.
apologise for that, but regulations state that public access to the telegraph is strictly prohibited.
Upon my word, you keep on digging that hole of yours. You have no idea who I am.
Goodbye, sir. I see that you kept your gripsack with you. Why don't you leave it in the luggage room?
I've had other things to think about. I lost my prototype. And this idiot station master just stands here doing nothing to help.
Oh, but...
Well, that won't do at all. Station master, I believe that the regulations state that any passenger luggage should be taken to the luggage room.
I'll do it right away, sir. Sorry, sir.
This Robinson is quite a character. We should learn more about him.
It's a scandal. An absolute outrage.
Don't touch anything, please.
This gripsack belongs to Mr. Robinson.
I think we should open it, Holmes. This is what they call force majeure. I'll keep watch.
Of course. Look, Watson, a bundle of contracts. Very suspicious. We should study them carefully.
Une liasse de contrats. Oh, intéressant, on peut mater.
An exclusive sales contract. Mr. Robinson is the seller.
Il l'a vendu à plusieurs personnes, je pense. Ok, très bien.
Yet another exclusive sales contract. Mr. Robinson is the seller. Yet another Mr. Mr. Well, it is very clear that this Mr. Robinson received prepayments from various people for his machine.
I'm always wondering what's on your mind, Holmes.
Prototype assuré. Prototype, plusieurs clients. Non. Ah si. Très bien. Wagon spécial. Ah bah oui, c'est logique. Dans le wagon spécial, il y avait le prototype. Grâce à l'assurance et aux multiples contrats exclusifs qu'il a signés frauduleusement, M. Robinson touchera une jolie somme d'argent suite à la perte de son prototype. Si ça se trouve, il a vu que son prototype, il était nul. Et du coup, il a manigancé tout ça. Disparition de la machine est un désastre. Malgré ses intentions de fraude, il a perdu plus qu'il ne peut tirer, puisque l'assurance ne couvrira pas le coût total du prototype ni ses revenus potentiels. Je n'en suis pas sûr, hein. Je n'en suis pas sûr. Il a reçu des prépaiements. 15 000, c'est la moitié quand même. Allons en discuter avec ce monsieur. Ouais.
I will not move from here until I receive my refund.
It's a scandal.
Tiens. Attends, on était à Chesterfield ou pas? Je sais plus. Je sais plus où on était. Non, on n'était pas là. C'est vrai que c'est un autre endroit, ça. Monsieur?
How could he fall asleep at work like this? Excuse me, sir. Wake up. Ah, his breath. He must have swallowed half a distillery.
And that explains the how.
By his sleeping off the alcohol, you mean? Wake up, please, sir.
Huh? What? The 18-hour 72 train has arrived?
Good day to you. We are investigating the disappearance of last night's train, and we should like to ask you a few questions.
Alors, carré, bien entendu. Hein. Comme toujours. Oh, il est bien rouge. Hein. Oh, c'est plus que le nez, là, mon pote. Hein. Vêtements propres. Marié. Ah non, flasque d'alcool, très bien. Mais alliance aussi. Ouah, la flasque, fallait la trouver, mon pote. Fil de pêche. Pourquoi du fil de pêche?
Were there any passengers who got off that particular train at your station last night?
No, nobody, it seems to me. Although I did not leave my office, so...
No doubt you were very busy.
You don't say. You can't ever get any peace around here. Now you have to send a telegram each time a train arrives and departs.
Station Master Bertram from Bridlington showed me a strange telegram that he received from you last night. It concerned the train, but it was barely comprehensible.
What? He's a fastidious little twerp, that Bertram. I remember everything quite clearly. It was late, and I was tired, but I did my work. So what? There's no need to be so petty.
Alcoolisme.
You were not tired, you were inebriated. Tell me the truth now, or I shall not hesitate to document your state in my report.
My friend means that you will end up by being sacked from your position.
All right. So I was drunk. I don't remember all of yesterday, to be truthful to you. Please don't go harsh on me.
Holmes, this man has consumed a considerable amount of alcohol. He's not entirely helpless yet, but...
It will not be long before he is. Obviously, his testimony cannot be trusted.
Ok, donc... Alcoolisme. Ici, il y en a plusieurs nouveaux. Passager en colère. À en juger par les mains et les vêtements de ce passager, il semble s'agir d'un ouvrier spécialisé. Il est seul, sans bagage et n'est visiblement pas en voyage d'agrément avec sa femme. Ce train lui sert à aller à son travail et à en revenir. De ce fait, il devrait être coutumier de cette voie, bien connaître les gares ainsi que les autres passagers réguliers. Thomas Robinson. Vêtements coûteux et lourdes bagues en or. Nous avons affaire à un homme, sinon influent, du moins fortuné. Son insolite couvre-chef et ses chaussures en peau de crocodile suffisent à déduire qu'il vient de l'étranger. On peut penser qu'il est là en voyage d'affaires. Mince. Chef... Ah tiens, il y a un mec que j'ai pas rencontré ici. Chef de Bridlington Station. Ce chef de gare est très jeune. Il veille avant tout à la propreté de son uniforme et au strict respect du règlement. Ses taches d'encre fraîche sur les doigts et sa main indiquent qu'il a beaucoup écrit récemment. Il est fort à parier qu'il vient tout juste d'achever ses études pour entrer dans la vie active. Ah oui, non mais... Attends. Si t'as des taches d'encre sur les mains qui correspondent à tes études que tu viens d'achever, il y a un problème. Il se les lave jamais ou quoi? Ce que je veux dire, moi j'allais à l'école, j'avais des taches d'encre sur les mains. Au pire, si ça partait pas le jour même, ça partait le lendemain, quoi. Et le dernier, le chef de Chesterfield Station. La couleur de son visage, du nez en particulier, ne laisse aucune place au doute. Le chef de Chesterfield Station est alcoolique. Cet attrait pour les liquides se retrouve même dans son passe-temps, la pêche. Malgré tout, sa femme prend bien soin de lui. Fainéant et distrait, et manifestement pas apte à exercer ses fonctions. Fainéant et distrait. Incroyable. On dirait moi avec l'alcoolisme en plus.
A telegraph.
Alphabet
I
mort,
had
tiens.
thought that all station masters knew the Morse code, but apparently not.
Bah, il est fainéant, lui.
I'm always wondering what's on your mind, Holmes.
Ah, will I ever get any peace?
This bin is full of empty bottles.
Ouais, il se cache même pas
A
du coup.
fishing advertisement.
Ok. Il faut examiner la gare. Est-ce qu'il faut examiner que l'intérieur? Ou l'extérieur aussi? C'est une bonne question. Oh, qu'est-ce qui se passe, Watson? Vous avez trouvé quelque chose? Vous me faites juste perdre mon temps. Dites-le moi, Watson. Dites-le moi de suite. Là, ça va me faire TP, on est d'accord? Ça me fait pas... Ah si. J'allais dire, ça me fait même pas me TP, c'est... Bon allez, maintenant le tout droit, il va être très... Ah non. Rien ici non plus. Oh, on peut rentrer là-dedans. Intéressant.
A handcar wheelbase. Interesting. It appears that elements of the same construction were scattered everywhere. Watson, please tell me, do you believe in magic?
Of course not, Holmes.
Then you are of the opinion that a train cannot simply disappear.
Well, we both know that that is obvious. Why are you asking such peculiar questions?
A little patience, Watson. You will understand my point quite soon. So, are you quite certain that you saw the train at Evesham Station?
Yes, of course. We saw it coming. The headlights, and heard the whistle.
But that is it. We didn't see the train itself.
But... Oh, Holmes, I'm a little confused.
Ils ont fait semblant que c'était... C'était un faux train. Ils ont fait semblant qu'il arrivait. Non, c'est pas lui. Tâche, faire un train factice. La drésine démontée paraît être en prise directe avec notre mystère. Aurait-elle pu passer pour un train? Reconstituons-la pour savoir. Pièces détachées. Chef de Chesterfield peu fiable. Le train est bien passé en gare à Chesterfield malgré le caractère inintelligible du rapport envoyé par le chef de gare. Le train n'est pas passé en gare, le chef de gare était saoul et son témoignage ne paraît pas digne de confiance. Je dirais qu'il est quand même passé personnellement. Je dirais qu'il est quand même passé.
I should use...
Non, je peux pas le mettre au fond.
I should...
Oh. Si je peux. C'est un engrenage, ça. Très bien. Il y en a encore? Ah, attends. Place du mécanisme à bras. Attends, il y avait un truc là. Il y a une hallebarde ici.
I should use the... I should use... I should...
Je comprends pas trop là. Je vois pas ce qu'ils veulent que j'utilise sur un plateau.
I should... I should... I should... I should...
Ah oui, la planche, faut la voir quand même. Enfin, je l'avais vu, mais je pensais que ça faisait partie des escaliers, moi. Maintenant, on les met où, les freins? Voilà, on est d'accord.
So, now here we have the fake train that we saw approaching Evesham Station last night.
Doesn't look much like a train to me.
Be patient, Watson, I haven't finished yet. Try using your imagination. Our train requires only a headlight and a steam whistle.
Un petit L1. Alors, il nous manque des objets. Est-ce qu'ils sont là? C'est quoi ça? Oh! Tiens, il y a une bouteille ici. Ça veut dire qu'il était peut-être là récemment. Oh, attends, j'ai... Voilà, sifflet. En plus, pourquoi j'ai quitté? Ça me quitte automatiquement quand il n'y a plus rien à faire.
I need something long for the headlight to be attached.
Ok. Ok, il y a d'autres trucs. Ok. Ok. Bon, je vais tout récupérer. Hein. Écoute, au moins, ce sera fait. Là, ici, on place la perche.
The long pole is now attached. It will allow us to connect the headlight. The headlight is... The steam whistle is now connected.
Holmes, what can we do to make the steam whistle work?
It is elementary,
Extincteur.
my dear Watson. We shall need a fire extinguisher. The fire extinguisher. Now let us see what we have here. The steam whistle is ready to be used. Watson, I do believe that we have created an exact replica of the train that vanished in front of us last night. The criminal mind can be most inventive. I am somewhat in awe.
So, such a thing is possible. If someone went to all the trouble of creating this fake train, then it was surely with the intention of stealing the real one.
Ah, Watson, you should not jump to conclusions. In fact, this does not tell us very much at all, except that the train did not evaporate into thin air.
Although you half suspected it.
Huh. At any rate, we now need to find where the real train might be hidden. I suggest we use my archives to find a more detailed map of our surroundings.
Well, I hope that justifies our having to load your massive archive suitcase onto the cab. It made us extremely unpopular with our driver.
Tiens, train factice. Le train n'a jamais atteint Evesham. Il a été escamoté avant. Ce que nous avons vu n'était qu'un train factice, composé d'une draisine et de pièces détachées provenant de Chesterfield Station. Non, c'est pas ici. Ouais, c'est là-bas. Non, je suis allé trop loin. C'est où du coup? Bah si. Juste on passe là. Là. Suis-je bête? Est-ce qu'on peut l'interroger lui? Encore ou pas? Non. Consulter les archives. Les archives avec Evesham? Je sais pas. I don't know. I don't know. Monsieur, y a-t-il des archives ici? Monsieur.
The entire train has disappeared.
Railway post bags.
Il n'y a pas d'archives ici. On peut pas se pousser, hein. Je comprends pas ce truc des archives.
It's a scandal. An
I will not move from here until I receive my refund.
Pousse-toi. Voilà.
Don't.
Alors là, je comprends pas. Parce que les archives, elles sont chez moi, elles sont... Okay.
Now we have two maps. We must combine them properly.
Oh, très bien. J'ai pas vu. Oh, on peut bien descendre quand même. Oh, bah c'est là.
Here it is. There is a side branch to the railway. Its first switch is located between Bridlington and Chesterfield stations.
Genre,
There is
personne
one
n'aurait
more
pu me le dire.
station to be visited. It is located between Chesterfield and Evesham, and there should be a side railway to the nearby quarry. There is a small section of a railway at the end of Evesham station.
Ok. Ok. Allons à la station. Avant d'aller à l'aiguillage. Et mon pote. Réduction, j'ai plus rien. Non. Watson. Ouais. Watson. Toc toc toc. Alors, monsieur, on part?
Funny character. He looks anxious.
And he is not an Englishman.
Is there some ADN?
This scent is familiar to
Oh.
me, but in order to recognize it, I
No.
must combine my associations into one picture.
Oh non. Oh, les boules. Non, il y a un truc dessus, très bien. Attends, je vais m'approcher pour voir... pour réussir à trouver le bon placement. Qui est pas facile, hein. Punaise, mais je comprends pas, hein. Non mais j'en ai marre, ces casse-têtes là. Ils sont chiants. Je vois ce que c'est, mais il devrait être comme ça du coup. Non. Casse-toi, je veux pas lui. Ouais, mais c'est pas compréhensible. Attends, mais peut-être l'autre côté. Ah oui. Ah oui, l'autre côté c'est quand même bien. C'est quand même bien. C'est quand même meilleur.
A
Voilà,
greenish
c'est quand
brown
même bien plus facile.
cigar with a strong aroma, a hint of peppermint. Ricardo.
You already know the name of this man? Holmes, you amaze me.
No, Watson, I refer to the cigar. It is a Ricardo Turrent, a Mexican cigar of an excellent quality. Quite an expensive one, too.
A Ricardo.
This ashtray is full of ash and cigar stubs. Apparently, there was a conflict between the Mexicans and the Chileans. This ashtray is full of ash and cigar stubs. A greenish-brown cigar with a strong aroma, a hint of peppermint. These ashes and cigar stubs are similar to the one that we found on the floor. Some of the stubs were recently smoked. There are others that appear fairly old.
That means that the fellow spent several days here. Judging by his clothes, he's hardly a traveller or a tramp.
Well concluded, my dear fellow. A man who smoked the Ricardo brand of Mexican cigar spent several long days at Doncaster Station.
Ouais, à demander, bien sûr, quand on interrogera le suspect. Hein. Qui est parti se cacher je ne sais où.
Newspaper articles on horse racing. Hurdle, steeplechase and flat racing. He is a true enthusiast, Holmes. Newspaper articles on horse...
Betting slips for horse racing. The sums are quite impressive.
It can be an expensive vice. This man had probably used all his savings.
A telegraph.
Holmes, look. There's a flooded area over here.
I believe that the flooded area might be worth checking.
Ok. Attends, il y a quelqu'un là-bas. Eh ben, moi qui pensais que j'avais moyen de terminer la seconde affaire aujourd'hui, pas du tout. Pas du tout, du tout. Monsieur?
Good day to you, sir. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is Dr. John Watson. We are investigating the case of the vanished train.
Is that so? Well, good day, gentlemen. I am Mr. Duff, the station master of this station. I'll be happy to help you in any way I can, but there's not much that I can tell you about last night.
Mélancolie, ah ouais. Tu vois ça? Tiens, il manque un bouton. Encore ses mains? Marque d'alliance. Mais j'arrive pas à voir si la marque, moi. Ouais, il me saoule. Pas de montre pro. Quoi, pas de montre? Zone inondée.
It appears that you may be at risk of some flooding along the line here.
You mean that the whole bloody lake is at our feet?
Quite so. But it is strange, because according to my map, there should be a quarry here, and behind that, the lake.
How should I know? I only arrived here a few months ago.
And where did you work before that?
I was working in Nottingham. But I asked for a quieter place, so they transferred me here. Life is cheaper. I can't really complain.
Passager.
Did any passengers leave or board the train last night?
No. I saw no one as usual. I reported the train's passage by telegraph. Just the same as all the other nights.
I observe that you are a gambling man, Mr. Duff. You had hoped that your relocation to this small town might have helped ease your addiction, but it was not to be.
I beg your pardon? Addiction to what?
We found a number of horse racing tickets inside your office. Well, we all have our weaknesses. An expensive obsession, surely, for a station master.
It is none of your business. I occasionally attend the races with my colleagues. And anyway, that's my private life.
Mexicain.
There was a gentleman of Mexican origin, I believe, in the waiting room. Did you notice him?
What? A Mexican? Here in the back of beyond? Are you quite sure about that?
Goodbye, sir. It is obvious that we cannot inspect the quarry. Instead, we can check the beach area around the flooded lake.
On peut enjamber ou pas? Ah non, c'est bon. Il y a un passage ici. J'avais peur de devoir faire un grand tour, mais non. Alors, va falloir R1 là, je suppose. Mais... Hey Watson, I'm stuck. Not in the way you think. Non, c'est du TP. Je comprends pas trop. Je ne comprends pas trop. C'est bien ça en tout cas. Bah ouais, y a pas d'autre chemin là-bas, du coup je comprends pas trop. Ah oui, ah d'accord. Ah d'accord. Il faut aller tout là-bas en fait.
Here we are at the beach that is located near the quarry and Doncaster Station. It doesn't look like a very good place to rest. These traces were made by a carriage. Look. The vehicle pressed this stone into the ground. It would have been quite heavy. Nothing interesting here. 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 Nothing interesting here.
Ah, très bien.
Nothing interesting here. Nothing.
Je comprends pas.
No. The distance between the tracks is about
je suis
6 feet 7 inches.
2 mètres. What?
The vehicle. These traces are relatively fresh and were made by a large truck loaded with materials. This place was abandoned fairly recently. Observing the coastline and the moored boats, we are able to see that the lake's water level dropped. The lake has flooded the quarry. The dam was probably breached.
Très bien. Là, regarde, il me montrait un. Ah non. Il me montrait un. Il me montre ici. Peut-être qu'il faut que je m'approche plus. Ouais, j'ai pas vu. Faut le voir ça.
A label with the name Las Zarpas.
Ok, on a terminé d'inspecter la plage. L'embranchement ferroviaire en Chesterfield et Cham, donc Doncaster. J'ai 2 trucs à Doncaster plus... What? Mais j'ai trop de trucs. Je retourne à Doncaster. Bon, mais en tout cas, je vais m'arrêter là pour aujourd'hui. Je vous remercie de m'avoir suivi. On se retrouve demain pour la suite, à la même heure à peu près. Pour continuer cette seconde affaire, un peu moins intéressante que la première, je trouve, mais elle reste sympathique. Donc je vous remercie de m'avoir suivi, je vous souhaite une bonne soirée, bon appétit si vous n'avez pas mangé, à la prochaine.